Rogue Investigator exposes Obama's latest treason after 40,000 go missing overnight by Matthew D. Perry for VeteranAF.com. Recently, a disturbing plot involving former President Obama was uncovered that should leave every American feeling betrayed. Over the past several days, we learned that Obama derailed efforts by the FBI and DEA to prosecute Hezbollah's drug trafficking and money laundering operations out of fears that prosecution would disrupt his treasonous Iran nuclear deal. Now it's being discovered that Obama helped ISIS rise to power after a rogue investigator is breaking her silence on what she discovered, reigniting calls for the former president's arrest. For a while, it was suspected that Obama was intentionally arming ISIS terrorists after we learned about his gun-running scheme in Libya, where he armed the Free Syrian Army, which we later learned was actually a front for ISIS. Now we have overwhelming evidence of Obama's traitorous ways, thanks to a rogue investigator who broke rank to reveal startling new information about our former POTUS. Conservative Daily Post reports, it's no accident that U.S. supplied weapons made it into the hands of ISIS, says anti-war activist Cindy Sheehan. She places blame squarely at the feet of Obama's CIA. The CIA wanted the weapons to get into the hands of the extremists, she declares. Sheehan thinks it was part of Obama's plan to destabilize the Middle East and control resources. International Arms Monitor, Conflict Armament Research, CAR, examined 40,000 recovered weapons left behind by retreating ISIS troops since 2014. In a report described as the most comprehensive to date about how the Islamic State obtained and fielded its weapons, they note that one batch of U.S. military weapons covertly supplied to extremist Syrian rebels were being used by ISIS only 2 months after delivery. According to Sheehan, it isn't likely that ISIS outsmarted U.S. intelligence. I think it is incorrect to assume that the CIA/US is losing control of its weapons. It seems much more likely that Washington and the CIA wanted the Daesh forces in Syria to have control of many U.S. supply heavy weapons, including missiles. Conflict Armament Research has had field investigations combing the battlefields across everywhere ISIS held a position in Iraq and Syria since 2014. Tagging along with government and local fighting forces, they study every piece of the ordnance they can locate. But it didn't just stop at weapons. Even chemical agents used to make explosive were also sent to ISIS. Weapons, ammunition, even chemicals used to make explosives are all sifted through and cataloged. The findings they just released show that often weapons shipped to local groups have the unexpected result of benefiting the enemy. The unauthorized transfer of munitions that were originally intended to benefit groups fighting in an already chaotic and violent environment eventually found their way to ISIS. Obama's covert operation worked to arm moderate Syrian rebels battling President Bashar al-Assad. Some of those arms included rockets that were recovered in Iraq, paid for by the United States, and then shipped to Syrian groups. In one instance, PG-9 73mm rockets sold by Romanian arms manufacturers to the U.S. Army in 2013 and 2014 were found sprinkled across both battlefields. Containers with matching lot numbers were found in eastern Syria and recovered from an Islamic State convoy in the Iraqi city of Fallujah, the report states. This is just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. There is so much overwhelming evidence regarding Obama's treason against America, in addition to Obama's role in arming ISIS and Hezbollah's drug-running operation by shutting down investigations by the FBI and DEA. He also is responsible for allowing the Taliban to become the world's #1 producer of heroin. Thanks to his actions, the Taliban is now generating billions of dollars for the terrorist group to continue their operations against the West. The Taliban in Afghanistan has spent over a decade funding their operations from opium farms and their mass production of heroin. This was able to take place under the Obama administration, which refused to target their illicit operations. Obama allowed the Taliban to become the world's top producer of heroin, generating billions for the terrorist outfit, Conservative Daily Post reported. Political commentator and syndicated columnist Charles Krauthammer said in light of these startling new details that Barack Hussein Obama needs to be immediately arrested for his crimes against America. If the company did this, a CEO would be in jail right now, he stated on a recent segment on Fox News. Obama spent 8 years aiding the enemies of America. That is the textbook definition of treason. If it wasn't for Obama, ISIS would never have been able to grow as fast as they did, and they wouldn't have the weapons necessary to further their cause. Thankfully, Trump is now the president and has been making progress in the fight against terrorists. We endured 8 years under a leader that left us vulnerable. It's time for Trump to take care of business and destroy the Muslim terrorists. Yeah, and he was probably making a fortune at it also. How did he wind up with so much money? It's just like Hillary Clinton. If you're paid a certain amount and you wind up being a millionaire, how did it happen? You see? He's treasonous, yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.